Hello and welcome to Empowered Budgets. I'm Monica, and today I'm going to go over kind of a step-by-step tutorial on how to make a budget with a spreadsheet. Now, I know not everyone, probably most people don't like spreadsheets, but I love spreadsheets and I love budgeting. And budgeting can make your life, I guess, better in a sense because you can plan for your money, where to go, and then if you have a plan for your money, you don't feel like your money has run away from you. And all of my friends tell me that budgeting is hard and that budgeting, especially with a spreadsheet, is really difficult. And I just want to show people that it really isn't that bad. You can do basic math with a spreadsheet, and it can make your life a lot easier. So for example, whenever I budget, what I do is I take the total amount of bills. Is this not going to work? You take the total amount of your bills that you add up throughout the whole month. So your utilities, so your rent, your utilities, groceries, let's do groceries later, utility subscriptions, debt payments, like things that you absolutely have to pay each time you get paid. So I get paid twice a month. So let's say rent is, these are just made up numbers, by the way. I'll show you my own breakdown in a little bit. Like, let's say it's $900. Let's say utilities is $100. And my little thing keeps going away. $100. Subscriptions is, like, let's just say $80 because I feel like a lot of people have subscriptions. Debt payments, let's be honest, most people have a really expensive debt payments. So like, let's say it's $300 because I'm sure some people have car notes and stuff. So anyway, so if you don't know how to use a spreadsheet, whenever you're in a cell, which is this highlighted box, all you have to do to make a formula, so like a math equation, if you want to do 2 + 2 = 4, you have to put the equal sign, and then you just put in the math you want to do, and you click enter, and it does the math for you. I know it's really basic, but I feel like some people don't understand how to use them, so they don't utilize spreadsheets. I love spreadsheets because I hate math, and it does the math for me. So what you can do is you can also learn how to do your other formulas. So let's say these are all my bills for a whole month. This is just an example. I know, I'm sure most people have more than just this. So this already is auto prompting. So if you want to, you can type in, what you can do is you can click each box and then click plus and then add them all together and then equal. And then there you go. That's how much bills you have for the whole month. Or you can do it the fancy way. And you can put sum and then your bracket. And then it auto highlights it for you. I can just click enter and same total. It's just shorthand, so you can do it either way. But anyway, I get paid twice a month. So then I would take this number and do my formula again and divide it by 2. So this is just basic math. And then click enter. So I would need to save $690 per paycheck to save for my bills. This is how I do my bills and stuff. So the reason I like using spreadsheets is because you can use, why is this so small? Okay, sorry about that. Had to reset. Technical difficulties. Anyway, so I get paid twice a month. So I add up all my bills from the whole month, and I divide them by 2. So that way I know how much money to take out of each paycheck. So this is the total amount at the end of the month. Keep it labeled. And then this is how much that needs to go to bills per paycheck. So from here, I look at the amount of income. So you look at whatever income that you get, you take out this total from your income, and then you see what you have left over. Let's just say I make $3,000 a month, which I don't think I do. This is just a mock-up. So let's say your income is $3,000 a month. So then right off the top, you can take your income and you can subtract the amount of money that you need to take out for bills, and then you have $2,300 left over. And then this is where people can start putting their money where they want it to go. So they could do like savings, or for their sinking funds or their cash stuffing. So now that the basic part is out of the way, this is my personal spreadsheet for my bills, and kind of where I brain dump my thoughts about finances. So I have my bills, my car insurance, utilities, my loans, savings, and buffers and stuff. So it might look confusing when, you look at something new and you're not sure how it's set up, but this is kind of how my brain thinks, and you can set it up however you want to, but I basically put down everything that I have to pay a month and things that I think are requirements. So everything in green, this light green color, these are bills. So I allotted for my car insurance, energy, Xfinity, which is internet. Alone, I have subscriptions. This is my cat, and I save money aside for him every month. And then another Hulu subscription, my personal savings that I save, a buffer in my bills account, so that way I don't go down to 0. And this I can delete because I'm not going to pay for it. This I decided I didn't want to do. Oh my gosh, why is it doing that? Okay, and then if you look, so I can show you how your formulas can look. This one I didn't do the sum of the total things all the way above it because I kind of added different cells because I excluded these 2 cells. So this is the total amount I have to pay once a month to bills. And I have my bank account set up to where everything's kind of separate. And then up here, I put the amount that I have to take out of each paycheck. So this is half of my total monthly bills, like I explained before. And then I do the same thing with my savings. So I want to save $120 a month for my cat. I want to save $522 a month and just put that in savings. So each month I take out $60 for my cat. I take out $261 for general savings. And then for my sinking fund, which is a separate account that I have in my checking account, to keep all the money separate so I know what to do with it. And then I also budget in for groceries and gas. And then I have about $130 left over to cash stuff. And if that sounds confusing, let me go over to another sheet. And I will explain my bank system. So I have one bank, and inside that bank, I have a checking account that I call my main checking. And this is where my paycheck actually hits. And then I have another checking account, and I call it bills. So I transfer this amount of money out of each paycheck into this account every time I get paid. So I don't have to touch it. It just goes where it's supposed to. It has a job. And then I also have a savings account, which I put my cat's name on, and that's his savings, so I have money whenever he needs it. I have another savings account that I put that other total on that is really for my emergency fund. And then I have one more checking, and I call it sinking funds. Now this is the money that I cash stuff. So I have a buffer in that checking account, and that's the money that I use for all of my envelopes and cash stuffing, because they all have to have a place to go whenever they go into the bank. So unless if it's savings, the savings will go in my savings account. I will put all of these categories. Groceries I keep in my wallet. Eating out, I mostly keep in my wallet. These are the ones I keep in my wallet. But like health, if this gets high, I'll put placeholders in here and I'll add money to that. There's also a buffer in that account. All these things I would add to my sinking funds. So that way there's a buffer. So that way if I do online spending, I can definitely just take it from there and not have to worry about not having the money. And also this will help me not have to live paycheck to paycheck, because basically, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't have any money left over and you have to get paid again in order to pay your bills. So my goal is to have 3 to 6 months of expenses, a buffer inside of my checking account for my bills, and a buffer inside my checking account for my sinking funds. So that way I have a cushion. So if something happens with work, I don't get paid for some odd reason. I guess more likely if I lost my job, I would have time and I wouldn't have to panic about where the money is going to come from. And I love spreadsheets because it really just helps me kind of put my brain on paper. And as you can see, I have all this crazy stuff over here. This is like me brain dumping, but this is the same month to month. And I love it because, like, for instance, this used to be 125. And then I click enter and all my numbers update because I use the formulas where you click the equal sign and then you click the cell and you add them together, or you do the equal sign. I click this cell, divided it by 2. So anytime I update any of these numbers, it'll update all of these numbers. So they're all connected. So it automatically just does the math for me. So I don't have to do it every single time. Does that keep me from doing it every single time? Probably not, because I'm kind of a control freak, but that's how I do it. And then this is another spreadsheet that I use for doing my envelopes, because I will put in the amount and then the denominations and it counts it for me, because I'd rather do it with Excel than do it by hand. And I can go over that more if people want to, but I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. I just put the numbers in. I put my number in at the top that I'm going to cash stuff, and then at the bottom I have a formula of this number minus all of these numbers. So as I go through them, it will toggle me down to 0, so I know how much I have left, so I don't have to keep doing math over and over again. And then I add up my denominations and it tells me how much, so I can just write it down and go to the bank. Well, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, or if it was confusing, let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.